Let me be clear at the outset that Democrats want to fund TSA, FEMA, CISA, and the Coast Guard, and have repeatedly offered bills to do just that. However, Republicans have blocked all of them. Let me say that again. Republicans have repeatedly blocked bills Democrats offered to fund every agency before this committee today. Republicans control every part of government and could have funded these agencies with Democratic support, but chose not to. Republicans could pay TSA agents today, but choose not to. You don't have to take my word for it. Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana told Fox News that when Senate Republican leadership informed the president that his conference was prepared to accept the Democratic compromise position, the president said, and I quote, "No deals with Democrats." So this is a Republican shutdown, but as per usual, they take no responsibility. Maybe that's because they know the president is desperately trying to distract the public from his thousands of appearances in the Epstein files and the war he needlessly started in Iran. They know Trump doesn't want the media or the public talking about the affordability crisis he created, or skyrocketing gas prices, or raising inflation. Rather than do what's right for Homeland Security, the frontline personnel working without a paycheck, or the traveling public, congressional Republicans do Trump's bidding every time. He snaps his fingers and they jump. The only question is how high. And that's what we have here today, a shutdown congressional Republicans agreed to in order to cover for Trump. Even today's hearing is designed to cover for him. I requested that the chairman extend invitations to ICE and CBP leadership to testify today, but he declined to do so. I respect the chairman, but his decision is a troubling departure from committee practice. I've served on this committee since its inception, and I know firsthand how this committee has been run since it was stood up after 9/11. Republicans have now set an unfortunate precedent they'll have to live with going forward. But the facts remain that ICE and CBP should be here today because those agencies are critical to the full resolution of DHS's funding issues. Mr. Chairman, pursuant to Clause 2J1 of Rule 11, I'm furnishing you with a demand for a Minority Day hearing on the subject of today's hearing, signed by Democratic members. Democrats want to ensure that before we give even more money to ICE and CBP, which is already flush with cash, by the way, that we rein in the deadly abuses we saw in Minneapolis. We owe Renee Good and Alex Preddy that much. As the attorney for Renee Good's family implored the committee in a letter this week, do not forget the unthinkable killing of Renee, a loving and peaceful American mother of 3, and the broader harm done to other Americans. Trump doesn't want people to remember how his secret police shot innocent Americans dead and terrorized communities. We won't let the victims be forgotten, and we honor Renee and Alex's memory by fighting to ensure it never, ever happens again. I'm extremely troubled that Trump has deployed ICE agents to airports around the country. We cannot allow what happened on the streets of Minneapolis to happen in our nation's capital. According to the chairman's testimony, TSOs receive 6 months of training. ICE agents, according to testimony that we received before this committee, receive 47 days. So I don't understand how people with less training is going to help people who have more training. These agents cannot do TSA's job, nor should they, and they aren't trained to do it. So we see images of ICE agents standing around or walking through terminals, doing nothing to reduce the lines at security checkpoints while TSA personnel continue to do their jobs without pay because Republicans refuse to vote for legislation to fund TSA. It's ridiculous and maddening, but not surprising. Since Donald Trump took over, he's done everything in his power to destroy the Department of Homeland Security, weaponize it against the American people, and hurt the workforce. He sent DOJ into DHS and fired or forced out thousands of hardworking employees with irreplaceable Homeland Security expertise. At FEMA, more than 2,000 hardworking employees left the agency, and CISA lost about 1,000 employees, or a third of its staff. He cut critical Homeland Security programs and is intentionally withholding grants from nonprofits like synagogues, churches, and mosques, and disaster funding from communities that desperately need it. He also attacked DHS worker union rights, and his administration is suing to end transportation security officers' collective bargaining rights as we speak. They are the hard-won rights of the very same officers Republicans are claiming to care so much about. This administration has done nothing but marginalize and denigrate TSA from the moment Trump was sworn in. Meanwhile, Democrats have been fighting for the TSA workforce since long before Republicans discovered this week, apparently, that DHS is more than just ICE and CBP. Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, and Corey Lewandowski have tried to turn ICE into a national police force, a weapon for their political agenda, while systematically neglecting the critical mission of TSA, FEMA, CISA, and the Coast Guard. As part of their effort, Trump has installed incompetent and unfit DHS leadership who have used their positions for personal gain. At the top of the list is disgraced former Secretary Kristi Noem, who lived rent-free in government housing meant for military leadership. She wasted millions of taxpayers' dollars on ad campaigns and photo ops, complete with hair, makeup, and a rented horse for $20,000 for her to pose for the cameras. And her so-called special government employee, Corey Lewandowski, used his position and close relationship with Noem to steer contracts and sweetheart deals to his cronies in a pay-to-play scheme that has him under investigation. FEMA is on its third unqualified acting administrator in 15 months, and the witness that was scheduled to testify today, Mr. Greg Phillips, raises serious concerns. He said of President Biden last year, and I quote, "I'd like to punch that expletive in the mouth right now. He deserves to die, and I hope he does," unquote. Mr. Phillips reportedly claims to have been involuntarily teleported multiple times, including once to a Waffle House in Georgia. That kind of violent rhetoric and wild conspiracy theories are troubling for someone who holds a leadership position at DHS. For their part, congressional Republicans have sat idly by and watched it all happen, often enabling, encouraging, and cheering on this madness. So to my Republican colleagues, spare us your crocodile tears today. Your talk is cheap, and the theatrics are nothing but performance. This hearing won't get DHS employees a paycheck. I urge my Republican colleagues to stop the performance and start governing. Join Democrats in passing legislation to reopen DHS today. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.